In this video, we will be looking at an event listener that checks for unselected radio buttons. So at this point, what we have is when we click on submit your answer, it says that please make sure to answer all questions, but it doesn't really tell us which question hasn't been answered. And so that's what we want to do. Now for this particular video, what I just want is to make these unanswered questions turn into red and bold. But you can choose whatever style you prefer. It is up to you. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is put these questions, this particular question, into its own span element. But this way we get to actually control only this part of the question instead of itself and the options. So we'll span. Oh, let me spell it correctly first. Okay, we got it. The other thing that I would like to do is to apply a style for that span element, and I'd like to give this the name question text. So for the first class, probably this would style the entire question along with its options, but for the question text, we only want to style this part of the question. Okay, I think that might be it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the entire span and paste it for the other two questions. And I'll name them 2 and 3. All right. So looks wise is not going to change, but then what we want to do is apply a style to this class. So let's go to our style sheet, and maybe somewhere here, right after this one. Okay. Now for the I'm just going to paste what I've got, but for that particular form. So we want to style descendants. So, okay. So we're looking at elements with this class that are also descendants of the elements that use this MCQ form class. Okay, so what we would like for our form, so for that particular style, is to actually have that red color. I also wanted to have that bold text as well, make it bold. Now the other thing that I would like to do is have an additional style called empty answer. So we only want to specifically style empty answers. So what we are saying here, we are targeting elements that use the question text class that are descendants of the MCQ form and also have an additional class of empty answer. That's what we are saying. So let's put a comment here. Let's say that we are targeting the question that have not been answered to be styled as red and bold. Okay. Again, it's not gonna change much because we haven't done the work. The work is we would like to apply or add or use that style in our JavaScript file. So let's go into JavaScript. Now, the other thing that we want to do is here we've selected the element, the question element, but we want to further we want to further find the elements with the question text that use the question text class, this part here. Okay, so we want to add one more line and we add another variable, and we call this question text element. Okay, and we want to use the selected question element Okay. And what we want to do is we want to look for, so we'll say query selector. We want to look for elements with the class question text. I think I've selected that. Yeah, question text. Okay, that's what we are saying. And then what we want to do, so instead of putting the inner element of a question text, we want to put that into our question text element instead. And let's save and refresh. So it still looks the same. Yeah, that still looks pretty much the same. Nothing changed. Okay, now the other thing that I would like to do is copy these two lines. And we want to apply that style to it, the empty style, to the questions that haven't been answered. So I'm going to paste them here. And then what we want to say is, let's get the question element. Question text element, actually. Okay, so the first one gets us the actual question with that Q1 ID. Now we want to specifically target this part here, okay, which is our question text element. So this part pretty much remains the same. Now in the else block, what we want to do is we want to add an empty, let's be consistent, add an empty answer class to the element with the, let's say, with the element with class question text to the to the selected, or to the question text. Okay, to the question text element. All right, so it's pretty much similar to what we've done here. Instead of selected label, we are choosing question text element. So here we are being consistent with our comment, and we are adding that empty answer class to it. That's it. Let's see what we have there. So when I click on check your answer, it only selects, so after we've added the empty answer to the class, to the question element, so this applies the style for it, that specific red and bold style. Now the other thing is so when we clear the answers, we need to clear these out. So I'm just gonna copy this whole loop again, and I'll go to the clear form somewhere here. I'll just paste what I've copied, and I'll put a comment here saying remove the empty answer class from all question text elements. Okay, all right, so this part remains the same, this part remains the same, this part over here also remains the same. It's only this part that will change. Instead, we will use similar terminology, that just remove it from the class list, and make sure to say empty answer instead of wrong answer. That's pretty much it. So here we are just removing empty answer the class empty answer from all elements with the class question text for all questions. And I think my loop is not indented nicely, so let me just indent it nicely. And is that the same here? No, it's okay there. Right. So back to what I was saying, we are removing the empty answer class from the elements with the question text class for all the questions. So basically we're just resetting the styling and removing that red and bold color from the question text after the form has been cleared or submitted. So clear now works. So now that we've got our clear button working, let's put this into a function. This is optional, and this would be helpful, especially if you are reusing this part. Sorry, not clear form, clear empty. Okay, should put that in the function. And we'll close it off. Okay, so it will still work pretty much the same. But this is still not perfect. If I actually select something and I click on submit your answers, although we filled something in, it's still highlighting this as red. And the fix to this is quite easy. What we need to do is make a call to this function. I'll just copy that. At the start of our event listener. So as soon as we click submit, we would like to clear out any memory of styles applied to, so remove any empty answer classes that may have been applied previously. Yeah, so any style that have been applied through empty answers should be emptied at the start of the form submission. So I'll click on submit, and then I'll click on any, say another one, and another fill out question 2 only. So here the label is removed. Sorry, the styles are all removed, but we still got question 1 and 2 that we haven't answered. Sorry, question 1 and 3 that we haven't answered. Let's say that I've chosen the wrong answer for the first question. So this way we have that style removed for question 1, although we got the wrong answer, but we still filled out the question. Question 3 is still blank, we haven't filled it out, and so we still get that being styled as red and bold. And as soon as we make a choice here, we get our score. So that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the future ones. Thank you.